Hey, how's it going? I had some people show some interest on how I built my gaming PC. Quick background, I was a huge console gamer growing up a little over a year ago when COVID hit. There's plenty of time to work on a PC because of COVID and everything, a lot of teleworking. So I was going to start with some pictures to show where I started the whole process, and then followed by a quick video starting with the final product, the build of the final product. If you don't care about where I started about a year ago, like with the basic builds and moving my way over, just go ahead and skip to this time. Obviously I don't know what time it is because I haven't cut or edited anything yet, but otherwise let's go with the pictures. Okay, so this is my first build. It was a basic build at a 3700 X processor, 5500 XT graphics card, and the cheapest case Best Buy had at the time. It was just a basic setup. Shortly after, I ended up buying a new case. I got sick of the old basic one. I just had a little bit more, a couple more fans and more RGB, so I like that. Then here in this picture, I upgraded to the 5700 XT Red Devil, and I also bought two dummy RAM sticks that you can see they're only there for RGB. They don't actually have any memory. They're just for show. So in this picture, the Red Devil is a big and it's a heavy card, and it was basically drooping down a little bit. So I bought the GPU bracket to help hold it up, as well as put in some RGB lighting strips to help light up the dark areas around the case. And I also had a John Wick, what do they call those things? Not bobblehead, but I don't know. I don't remember. But I threw them in there as well to help fill up that empty space. So this is where I started experimenting with a custom liquid cooling loop. I only did the CPU while I waited for the water block to come for my 5700 XT. I also had to buy a vertical mount for the graphics card because it was taking up too much room, and I couldn't fit the pump and reservoir if the GPU was mounted horizontally like it normally is. I had no room anywhere in the case to put it, so with it being vertical, I was able to put it behind it. Okay, so in this picture, the water block that I bought actually didn't fit on the Red Devil that I had. I didn't know that they made different ones for different cards. I was new at the time, building everything. So the one I bought, I think, was for the Founders Edition 5700 XT. So if anyone has one, is looking to water cool their cards, let me know. It's literally just sitting in my closet collecting dust. So I did get my hands on the 5700 XT Liquid Devil. So it's basically just I traded off and I sold the Red Devil, or basically for the price that I paid for the the Liquid Devil. So it evened out. But around this time, I did see some dual PC builds, and I decided that that's what I wanted to work towards. Basically, two computers in one case. And after doing this custom loop, I decided I was going to make a dual system with two custom loops in it. So that's when I started working towards that. So for me to start working towards that dual system build, I had to buy a bigger case that's meant for two systems. So I picked up this. It's the Enthoo Pro 2. It's meant for full-size ATX motherboard and a mini ITX on the bottom. So I opted for this case because I think it was a better bang for your buck, I guess, for some of the other dual system cases. But so I moved the one system into this and started basically adding and moving things around as parts came in for the dual system. So I'm a TACP in the Air Force, and so I wanted to show some love for the career field and design my build after the flashing crest of TACP. My wife used her Cricut machine to cut a frosted vinyl in here, so it makes it look like it has like the glass is engraved, but it's really not. It's just vinyl. And then the mini ITX board came in, so I moved everything off the top and moved it into the bottom. and I was going to dedicate this bottom system for like streaming and stuff like that. So I was able to pick up a 3070 for the top PC that I'm using the top one for gaming. I really wanted a 3080, but graphics cards are impossible to come to get these days. So, I mean, I came across 3070, and you know, I snatched it up because, you know, I just wanted to get 2 working systems at this point. So then, shortly after, I actually ended up coming across a 3090 at MSRP. So I got that to replace the 3070. And then, of course, at this point, they announced that they were releasing Liquid Devil for the 6800 and the 6900 XT. So I thought it would look cool if I had 2 Liquid Devils in this build. So a couple weeks ago, I ended up getting my hands on the 6800 XT Liquid Devil. It's a downgrade from the 3090, but I mean, it's still plenty powerful for what I needed, and I was able to sell that 3090 to make up the money for the 6800 XT and have money left over to buy the extra parts needed to build the custom loop, like the reservoir of the pump, all the tubing and fittings and everything that I would need. So I ended up like breaking even. So that wraps up where I was for the past year, moving towards my dual PC build. And now we're going to move into the video of me basically starting that build. So I had everything in there already prior, and basically just building the custom loop and everything like that. But that's why it's already started. I was trying to work around the build, but it wasn't working. So with all the cables and everything, so I just was getting frustrated, and I just figured I'd strip it and start almost from scratch. I left the motherboards in here. I still have to put the new CPU cooler in here. I got this XC7 RGB. Everything's gonna be custom looped, so this needs to go in here. Okay, I got the 6800 XT that's going up in the top one, and then I have the 5700 XT that's going at the bottom, but both Liquid Devils look almost identical. Fingerprints or everything. I got the GPUs in there. Took me a little bit because I had to do the tubing behind the 5700 on the bottom before I did everything else because I can't get behind there in order to do it after. So I did that now. That's what took so long. So now I'm going to put in the radiators and the pumps. So I finally got the GPUs in and all my radiators and fans. Got one of the coolers. It was taking forever because that cooler up in that pump reservoir in the corner kept messing with these fans. It's hard. It's actually a little crooked and off center, but I don't think you can tell. So that was the best I could make it out to be. So we're gonna keep pushing and hope it works. Next is to put the other pump in. All right, let's go. Got the second pump in. Got pretty much everything. Now we're gonna run cables. might take a break first. We'll see. Okay, so last night I did the loop for the top PC. It took me like 4 hours. My first time doing the rigid tubing. I mean, that being said, I think I did pretty good. But I wasn't going to record it just because I knew it was going to take a long time, and same with time lapse. You literally just been sitting me playing with a tube for like an hour just to do the one. So I'm working on the bottom one now. I'm just gonna skip to it, this way you don't have to, I'm not gonna bore you. Finally done with the tubing. So it looks like I got, this is the top system right there, and then a drain line going down, and then this is the bottom. And goes up. It's a little crooked, or not parallel. I shouldn't say crooked, not parallel, but these things are a pain in the ass, so I think it's good enough. And I did combine some soft tubing back there and right there, because I'm not going to be trying to get hard tubing back there. That's just, this alone was a pain in the ass. That's it. Alright, I'm gonna go get my other power supply, hook up the pumps, and check for leaks. Wish me luck. And let me show you what happened real quick. I was using this thing to put water up in this reservoir right here, and the freaking thing fell off in the inside. And it's gonna be a to take out, but I don't think I can leave it in there. So that's what I'm doing now. This sucks. So I'm taking apart the pump to get this thing out, and look at all the screws you have to take off in order to open it. Finally got it. I didn't take all these screws off. I didn't have the right size tip, and I didn't want to strip them, so I just shook it until it was facing straight up and down. I just reached in there with tweezers and grabbed it. It was a but it's finally out. Now to put it back in there after I tore everything apart. Finally got the top one done. Alright, like I said, I got the tip of that one piece stuck in the, excuse me, the pump. So I take that apart, and then one of the O-rings fell out, so I had a leak when I put it back in. So I had to take everything apart again and put the O-ring back in, and now finally everything's back together. And it's been running for about 15 minutes. No leaks so far, which is good. I'm gonna let it run for a while. Moved back down to, I had a leak down in the CPU cooler, so I'm working on that now. Okay, I got both loops done now. This is the top, and then this is the bottom. Both are running right now. No leaks so far. The top one's been running for about 30 minutes, maybe a little longer. The bottom one's maybe like 5 or 10. But so far so good. I'm gonna let it run for probably until after dinner, so probably a couple hours, just to make sure there's no leaks. And then I'll clean up, like, there's some wires dangling that I need to fix, like that one right there. And then I need to finish up some wiring in the back, and then we'll plug it in and pray everything works. so that wraps up my year-long adventure of building the PC I wanted. Now that I'm finished, I'm going to start streaming and try to get the most out of this build. My Twitch name is JoeTaco6, so I'll put it here. I try to stream every night around 8:30, 9 o'clock p.m., except for Wednesdays and Sundays. I spend those nights with my wife Megan, and pending any TDYs or any other work-related tasks, I might miss a few days here and there. But anyways, thanks for checking out the video. Feel free to comment any feedback or questions you have, or just drop into the stream and chat there. Later.